Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. My name is Tabbara, and I'm Marketing and Sales Manager at Tabbara Electronics. Today, we have the pleasure to host Cambium Networks team. We're excited to share an overview of cutting-edge point-to-point and point-to-multipoint solutions and learn the value and benefits of becoming a connected partner of Cambium Networks. To begin, allow me to welcome Alex Harris, a Regional Sales Manager for Middle East and Oil and Gas EMEA. We will kickstart the webinar with an overview of Cambium Networks and its footprint in the wireless connectivity for critical communications in oil and gas and security. Alex?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Harris. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Cambium Networks. I'm proud to present to you our solutions. Today, I'll be joined by my colleagues, Kinan Hamwi. He was the Channel Marketing Manager. He will be introducing our partner program in depth and what value add we bring to the channel in the Middle East. Then we are joined by my colleague, Ahmed Dawood. Ahmed is our Regional Technical Manager who will be presenting our products and solutions for the critical communication and oil and gas. Cambium history, for those who doesn't know where we come from or never heard of Cambium before. Cambium Networks, we started our wireless business back in 2000. Cambium was part of Motorola. It was a startup inside Motorola. It's called Canopy, which was the first point-to-multipoint products in year 2000. And Orthogon System, it was the first point-to-point link, non-line of sight. That was a startup company in the UK. In 2005, Motorola acquired Orthogon and started up one company under Motorola Solutions that has the point-to-point and multipoint in the sub-6 gigahertz. In 2010, during the restructure of Motorola, Cambium was born. It was spun off from Motorola. It was adopted by private investors and started Cambium. So we carried on our point-to-point and multipoint products, and we kept innovating. 2015, we introduced new products, the multipoint and Wi-Fi and switching products as well. We did some acquisitions. And last year, we did the CBRS in the US. We introduced LTE, 60 gigahertz, and more to come. So Cambium, we're growing organically with new solutions and products. We provide solutions from 2 meters to 200 kilometers, meaning we have Wi-Fi access points. We got small gateways for the IoT. That's a 2 meters short range up to the 200 kilometers point-to-point link can be deployed. We pioneered the point-to-point and the multi-point solutions. So please stay tuned to Ahmed's presentation talking about our multi-point solution. Cambium is still headquartered in Rolling Meadows, the suburbs of Chicago in Illinois. Around 750 employees globally. We are present on every continent. In 2019, we acquired Xeris Wireless from Riverbit. These are the high-density Wi-Fi access points. Last month, actually, we have celebrated shipping 10 million nodes. We shipped, since we spun off from Motorola, 10 million radios globally, more than $2 billion of value. Emerging leaders in IoT and private 5G. 5G is a key thing, and stay tuned for the 5G products. Cambium is a publicly listed company at NASDAQ now under CMBM, so it's a publicly traded company. We got a major R&D center in Ashburton in the UK. And we got in India, Bangalore, R&D center and development. In San Jose, California for the Wi-Fi as well. Our headquarters as an R&D and development center in Rolling Meadows, Illinois, in the US. So what makes Cambium different from others in the market in the wireless broadband, specifically in the 5 gigahertz? At Cambium, we are extremely diversified in the markets that we serve and the solutions that we offer. So we serve wireless ISPs, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 telcos, into the broadband business and the Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi business also, we do serve the enterprise market, education, healthcare, hospitality. Now we're focused also on the industrial communications for the oil and gas, energy, mining, federal. So we have federal products for the defense, for the governments and army. And then we have also products that fits public safety, police, municipalities. So having this diverse clientele and verticals that we focus keeps us financially healthy. If one market goes down, the other is up. So our sales keeps going. It gives our partners advantage to access new markets as well, or be focused on certain markets. Diverse end customer base. So our major clients, so we got major clients all the way from the Wi-Fi, like Google, Microsoft, Liverpool Stadium. Then we have fixed wireless broadband ISPs like YOLO, MTN in Africa, MTS, Vodafone, big names using Cambium in the broadband business as well for Wi-Fi. IoT connectivity for the industrial oil and gas, we got big names using Cambium as well, like the BP, Exxon, globally. Then we have federal governments, armies like the UN, United Nations. We got the US government and different around the region. Local governments, police force, also we got major ones globally. In the Middle East, as a in-depth zoom in of our clientele, who we serve. In the oil and gas, we got provide solutions for ADNOC, Aramco, Chevron, BP, major oil and gas customers, NOCs or IOCs are using Cambium. Telcos as well, we have T-Data, Go, major ISPs are using Cambium. We got clients, critical applications for customers like SANS in Saudi for the runways. We got RTA in the UAE using Cambium, and different governments like Holy Mecca municipality and Jeddah municipality. So this is sort of blend of customers that using Cambium. A quick look at what we offer, which my colleague Ahmed will talk in depth of the products. We offer point-to-point solutions that goes sub-6 gigahertz from 4.4 to 6 gigahertz. We have standard microwave solution from 6 to 38 gigahertz and E-band, different configurations we offer. Then we have the multi-point high capacity, the 14 by 14 MU MIMO. That's the only product out there in the market. Today, the 5G is at 8 by 8. Cambium been delivering 14 by 14 for the past 6 years. We have 2 by 2 MIMO as well. We have fixed LTE 2.5 and 3 gigahertz. And the newly released product is the 60 gigahertz Teragraph product. And then most of the products we got ATEX certified radios as well, and base stations and subscribers. We have positioners. We got positioners for the defense. We got auto alignment that can be used for oil and gas, utility, and rapid deploy for emergency first response. And then we got our own marine antennas for offshore connectivity. We got IIoT RTUs, serial to IP or analog digital to IP or serial, and narrowband wireless on it. Then we got Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5, indoor and outdoor, that provides all the way from 2 by 2 MU MIMOs to 8 by 8. We got switching portfolio. We got from 8 port up to 48 ports, different configuration. And all of these products are managed by CM Maestro, our management platform. Can be on a cloud or can be on a premise. Then we have the new release product. It's called the TX switch. This is one-of-a-kind switch that's used for Cambium products. It connects to a GPS. It provides the synchronization and provides high-capacity PoE to power Cambium base stations. So what value we bring to our partners? We have full set of tools that we give to our partners to be successful in providing proposals and solutions for the customers. We got our most famous tool that's the most used tool by our partners and customers is the Link Planner. Link Planner is a wireless point-to-point, point-to-multipoint design tool. It has built-in digital maps. It got all Cambium products. You can design the links and provide a complete availability report to your customers, as well installation reports that helps you in the installation and generates the BOM. Then we have the CN Heat. If you have LiDAR maps, you can subscribe to the CN Heat, and then you can have complete heat maps, live view for your clients. This is usually used for ISPs. Wi-Fi Designer tool. It's an online tool used to design Wi-Fi heat maps using Cambium APs. And then we have our management platform as the CM Maestro. The CM Maestro, as I mentioned, manages all Cambium products. It's a cloud or on-premise, can be loaded on a VMware machine at the customer premises. Then we have the CN Archer, is a mobile app for the installers. It helps them doing the alignment on the site instead of using laptop using a Wi-Fi dongle. What's great also about these tools? They are free of charge. You can download them today and start using them. So they are available for everyone free of charge. So how would Cambium fit in a digital oil field? What we can offer? We offer onshore to offshore connectivity, ship to shore, ship to ship connectivity, high capacity to serve CCTV, high imaging, thermal imaging, voice and data, plus SCADA. You can add Wi-Fi for crew welfare or staff access in the field. Can offer rig connectivity with the alignment kits we have. Land drilling rigs or offshore rigs can be, or drilling ships. So double down on Cambium Networks. Products, we are market leaders in high performance fixed wireless access. We have disruptive enterprise offerings, broad and expanding software solutions. We keep developing our software applications for our partners as well for the end users, from the management platform to the design tools to the proposal tools. We have our partner program. So please listen to my colleague, Kinan Hamoui. Is going to be presenting and giving you the value add that Cambium brings in a partner program. We have world-class connected partner program. Our partner programs are vertical market programs. We are focused on certain verticals to support our clients. We generate leads to pass over to our partners. Cambium is a 100% channel company. So we only work with end customers to generate leads to our partners. And then we work closely with our partners to win the business. We have a vast ecosystem partners. We work with other software applications, other solution providers to bring to our ecosystem to help our partners deliver a complete integrated solution. So we cover in the region, we have offices all over Europe, Middle East, and Africa, from sales, and regional technical managers in every region or sometimes in every country. We have inside sales machines. Our inside sales teams, they help our partners generate leads. They distribute the leads, they develop the leads. We do marketing acceleration. So we help our partners in marketing campaigns. So we got my colleague Kinan will be explaining our MDF and what we can offer to our partners. Cambium is a flat management. Everyone got access to the executive team in the region as well at the headquarters. Future investment in vertical go-to-market resources. So we do a lot of investment jointly with our partners. Thank you. Kinan, over to you.
Thank you, Alex. That was really insightful. It's really good to see the variety available in Cambium Networks portfolio. I'm sure there is something for everyone in all the verticals and all the frequencies needed and throughput, coverage, etc. So now I would like to welcome Kinan Hamwi to the stream. He will be talking to us about the marketing initiatives available at Cambium and how you guys can join the partner program. Thank you again, Alex. Moving to Kinan. Hi, Kinan.
Hi, Lubna. Thank you very much for the introduction. And thank you, Alex, for laying down the field for me to start. So as Alex mentioned, my name is Kinan Hamwi. My role here is focused on the growth of our partners. I manage mainly the marketing initiatives across Europe, Middle East, and Africa that we launch through our partners. However, the main focus from Cambium, since we are 100% a channel company, is the growth of our partners. We believe that your growth means our growth. And let's start how we are able to do that. I'm going to be covering the set of tools and resources that you have access to right now, including the partner portal, learning portal, our community page, and once you are a partner, you would have access to Cambium Networks team along with the valued team from Tabbara Electronics. So what does it mean to become a partner with Cambium Networks? Why would you want to become a partner with us? Well, first, we believe that that protecting your deals and providing you with a good discount matters. First, it provides you the clear state of mind, let's say, while progressing with your project, and the additional discount provides you with a better opportunity for a higher margin. So I saw that. Thank you, Lubna. That you have now the link to join our partner program. That would be your first step. So why else would you want to be a partner with Cambium Networks? Channel management and protection. Also, you would have access to pre-sale support and post-sale support. So you would have access to support from Alex, Ahmed, and myself, like when necessary. Not only that, we also have our learning portal, which is available for free for our partners only. So you would be able to, you and your team would be able to access those online courses for that would train your team on our equipment and get them certified, all free of charge. And finally, you would get access to our marketing resources. So you'd be able to download case studies, marketing material, data sheets, battle cards that would show you how to compete with other brands, and download some other cool pictures like this one, for example. So we have two levels of connected partners. We have our connected partner and connected partner plus. The difference between the two is, well, you would become a connected partner plus once you achieve a certain level of growth in revenue. And the difference between the two is better margin. Well, we already provide really good margin to our connected partners, but once you reach the connected partner plus level, then you would get a better margin. You also get your hands on 2 sets instead of 1 set of not for resale kits. Those kits would be instrumental when you're going to be presenting our products to your customers and or testing the products in your own labs. So what can we do together for marketing activities? So marketing is a big word, and a lot of people define different activities. Marketing, here we are focusing on the growth of your business. We want your business to get bigger so that our business would become bigger also in the process. We have our marketing development funds, which is a budget allocated for those activities that drive revenue and that achieves a business growth target. This budget can cover up to 50% of the cost of the activity that you're launching. By default, it would cover 25%. However, if one member of your team is technically certified on Cambium Networks equipment, then that coverage would go up to 50%. Some activities that we recommend. First, having a Cambium Networks brand page at your website. Let's say that someone in Emirates or Kuwait is searching for Cambium Networks. You would want to be on that list of websites that are showing up in that country. Industry roadshows. If you have something in mind that you would like to participate in, just send me a note. We can have a quick conversation about this and see how we can collaborate on those events. Multi-component campaigns. So this is something that our team really likes because this is actually the core of marketing. It's combining multiple activities towards a specific goal. Let's say that you want to get 100 leads, and then you ask, how can I get there? Well, a multi-component campaign would be the best fit for that, because then you would be combining your brand page, your co-branded emails, along with the event that you're participating in, and all going in a synchronized way until you get the leads that you would like to get. And finally, let's have a conversation. Our initial conversation, I would be asking a lot of questions about your business, your goals for the next 2 years, and then see how we can work together towards achieving those goals. So what shall you do now? First, sign up as a connected partner. That would be your first step. You have the link. I would recommend that you save it or fill the form. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to become a partner. And then the next step would be to get yourself or a member of your team certified on our equipment. We do put a high value on certifications. And once a partner tells us that they're certified, then we proceed with more confidence with each project with them. In parallel, you can also get yourself a not for resale kit. We have our NFR guidelines on our Connected Partner portal. You can get a set of our products that you think are a good fit for your business at a very, very generous discount. So make sure that you ask the team about your NFR kit. And start engaging with the team. Over communication is never bad. So please over communicate. Engage with Alex, Ahmed, with Tabbara Electronics team, and yeah, let's work together. And finally, whenever you have a business growth idea in mind, please share that with me. And now I'm just going to take you on a quick tour of those tools that I've mentioned. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to show you how our Connected Partner application form looks like. Just so it really takes 5 to 10 minutes, I would guess. So from the first step is go to channel.cambiumnetworks.com. click on request an account. Here you can put whatever at yourcompany.com. And then here is the partner application. I would say it's a relatively short application. Once you're done, the application becomes approved by our regional team, and you would have access to our partner portal. So let's check out our partner portal, how it looks like, and what we have there, and why you would want to access that actually. So our engineers and marketing team and sales team, everyone contributed to adding content to this portal. So here, your first go-to place is the content and resources. We have a lot of content here, a lot of case studies, data sheets, product images, etc. If I would put those in list view, by the way, you would have a search function here, which is really easy. Yeah, we have a lot. And the list goes on. We have around 1,400 entries almost. It's a lot to deal with. But our team is aware of that. So that's why we've also reorganized the content into playbooks. So for your initial exploration, I would recommend going for playbooks first. And here you get to see different sets of pieces of content. So for example, the Not for Resale program or NFR program. This I would recommend checking out. Okay, why else would you want to be here on our partner portal? Well, here you see the deal registration. This is where you can register any project that you have in the next 6 months, the next year. You can register that project, and once you have that registered, then our sales team would do their best and make sure that this project is protected. So let's take a quick look at specific content. I'm going to be going for our oil and gas vertical, and let's filter by that. You see in different pieces of content, there's those green triangles at the top right. What does that mean? It means that you can take this piece of content and you can co-brand it, meaning that you can add your own logo there. So here you can click on co-brand and you can add your logo in any part of this document. Once you're done, you can download it and share it with your customers. It's really straightforward and super easy to use. Other than that, you also have our prospect pages. This is where you can create actually your own page on our portal. And if you have your profile picture set up, your contact details set up, it's like basically showing your business card that has the Cambium Networks content on it. And we have our email campaign. So we've prepared some emails that you can already either get inspired by, or you can copy and paste and send it over to your prospects. So we're really trying to make it as easy as possible for you to grow with us. And if you think that there's something else that we can also include in our portal, please let me know, and we can work on adding that. All right, so that was our first stop. By the way, there's plenty. Like for example, our events calendar. Here you can see events from the globe on what we're hosting. And after you're done with this stop, I would recommend going to our learning portal. So learning portal is learning.cambiumnetworks.com, and this is your source for getting certified and getting trained and certified on Cambium Networks equipment. Okay, let me get myself logged in here. when you're logging in, it's not going to take that long. It's going to be only asking you for your username and password. All right. So this is how our learning system looks like. What you would have a lot of different courses for products, and you would have also certification exams. So I'm going to look at first learning plans. Here we've put different learning plans depending on the kind of product that you're going to be focusing on. So our training team actually really works hard to keep this updated. Let's say that we want to check out our PMP 450 certification learning plan. This is what I would recommend for if you would like to get certified or to get one of your team members certified. Share this learning plan with them, because this goes from A to Z on the product, and finally it should you would be able to get to take the certification exam. And here, as you can see, I always go to the to this hamburger menu that you call it, because this is where you can find the learning plans and certification exams. So again, those are available only for our partners free of charge, and you can take them at your own pace. Certification exams are usually 50 questions. You need to get 80% or more to pass the exam. You would have only 3 attempts. If you do manage to get 3 attempts without passing, then and you consume all of those attempts, please reach out to the team. Let's see how we can help you, and we can also reset those attempts if necessary. So the third resource that I've mentioned during my presentation is actually our community. Our community page started back in 2014, I believe, and this started with 0 users. Now we have more than 100,000 wireless posts on our community forums. And this is where you can find what other partners like yourself and or Cambium users, what they are saying about our products, what issues they are facing. And our engineers are actually quite active on those community forums, meaning that they are responding to almost every post, and they're posting guides about this. So let's say for one example is trying to set up our CN Maestro management software on premise. So let's see, I'm going to search for that on our community forums, and here you can find a lot of people asking questions around this, and those are all answered. And actually, there is a full guide that is available on our community forums around this topic, and it's easy to be found. So, key takeaways from what I've just covered. Register yourself as a partner. Get access to our portal, because this is where you're gonna get access to everything that would help you move forward with Cambium Networks. Get yourself certified, and get yourself an NFR kit. And finally, let's have a conversation. As I've mentioned, we're more focused on your growth, on the growth of your business, and we know that your success is our success. All right, that's it from my side, Lubna and team.
Thank you very much, Kinan. I want to remind everybody to visit the website. I'm going to post it again over here for everyone to see it again, so that they can enroll and be part of the channel partner of Cambium Networks. Now, I want to propose a 10-minute break we will get back fresh with a fresh cup of coffee or tea. And then we will continue the presentation with Ahmed Dawood, the technical manager for the Middle East. In the meantime, do not hesitate. Please write your questions. Do you have any comments? Don't hesitate to use the tools that are available for you, and we will all address this by the end of the webinar. So thank you, and let's go on break.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lubna. And just one thing, I think that we have something also nice prepared after the break, and hopefully we will be launching something similar with our partners attending right now. And you've mentioned questions. Thank you very much. We have the whole team actually anticipating your questions right now. So please feel free to post whatever question that you may have on Cambium Networks technology and or processes. Yeah, we're more than happy to help. Thank you very much, Lubna. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you, Kinan. So we will take a 5-minute break instead of 10 to keep it short and concise, and we will get back to you shortly. Thank you. Please stay put.
the last year, fast, reliable internet has become a necessity. It's not a luxury anymore. Everyone deserves the internet connectivity they need to be able to live, stream, game and play from home.
The initial need that drove Pentinet's creation was a selfish requirement of myself just to have better internet. So I was looking into different connection types and last mile solutions, and then started looking into fixed wireless as a solution. So I ended up selling a house and building my first tower, and I connected the home to it. I was able to fix that for myself, but sure enough, lots of other people needed that solution. Whereas we stand today, we're an ASX listed company. We have thousands of users on the network, over 70 employees working locally, towers spanning more than 100 kilometres across Perth. And they're all being powered by a cutting edge dark fibre network, as well as now converting our network to the next generation of connectivity.
Pentinet's an exciting company with a fantastic vision, but it's driven by providing the ultimate gaming experience. He was designing a network and building the infrastructure of his network with a view to be able to support this emerging teragraph standard that Cambium has adopted as part of our cnWave solution.
So Teragraph is a technology that enables easy to deploy solutions that bring fiber speeds to homes. Overall, it's faster, cheaper, and much more fun.
The vision for adopting the technology is to create and develop really a new kind of connectivity and internet access for our users, and one that's superior really to anything that's currently available on the market.
The idea of cnWave is how do I provide now broadband connectivity using wireless technology, but in an urban area where I've got clutter. With cnWave, it's made up of nodes that interconnect, mesh between one another.
The mesh technology is important because it means that users that were unable to connect before can now connect. The users may not be able to connect due to many factors, and most likely is line of sight. This solves that by delivering the connection to one of your neighbours, and then you can take that connection from that neighbour.
But cnWave, which works at a much higher frequency, 60 gigahertz, we combine that together to be able to now provide much higher speed connections. So the connections between the nodes are gigabit, which means you now can deliver 300, 400, 500 megabit per second symmetric connections to people's homes.
In Perth, we have a large concentration of copper services delivered via fibre to the node. This means that a lot of users are only able to get 12 to 25 megabit speeds.
cnWave, made by Cambium, offers some of the highest power options on the market currently.
Working with Cambium on this journey has been amazing, even more so by having the resources of Facebook connectivity available to us.
Across our venues, I would say we'd have circa 50 POS systems, and I couldn't tell you how many monitors we've got in the office, but we've got about 30 desks, and the amount of data, images, graphic design and communications that we use across the venues, having good internet is second to none. When we moved to Pentinet, it was probably one of the best commercial choices we ever made.
The objective for us is just to kind of create the best connectivity we can for our users and really, have fun while we do it. Because we're confident that we're the best at doing what we do, and that's what we just get up and enjoy doing every day.
Welcome back, everyone, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video about the cnWave technology. I want to introduce Ahmed Dawood. He's the Regional Technical Manager from Cambium Networks for the MEA region. He will be talking to us about the cnWave and a lot more about other wireless connectivity solutions on the technical end of the stream. Ahmed?
Introduction. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ahmed Dawood, and I am the Regional Technical Manager handling the Middle East region for Cambium Networks. And we are going to start our presentation today just to basically highlight what my colleague Alex mentioned at the beginning, is that Cambium Networks offers end-to-end wireless connectivity solutions to the market. And that includes both point-to-multipoint and backhaul as well, including, RIGS connectivity remote sites connectivity, last mile solutions, and high capacity point-to-point in line of sight, near line of sight, and in some particular non-line of sight scenarios. And definitely when you want to carry these solutions, it matters to all of you that these solutions are secure. And Cambium doesn't take security lightly. And we provide security to both the management by providing secure management protocols and adding to our products role-based security, transaction, and auditing. We also have industry-leading radio performance technology to meet the demanding, high-throughput demanding applications such as video streamings and some critical applications where you need your link, your wireless link, to be there available all the time. And that includes hitless adaptive modulation, MIMO A and MIMO B modes of operations, high TX power, and very sensitive radios with sensitivities that can reach down to negative 105 dB, and many more. And finally, since these products are outdoor products and we live relatively in harsh outdoor environments, all our outdoor products are IP68 certified, and they are designed to withstand very harsh environments and very high temperatures as well. Now, we're going to talk in this presentation about our point-to-multipoint solutions. We're going to start with the sub-6 gigahertz solutions from Cambium Networks, point-to-multipoint. And after that, we will talk about our point-to-point solutions. And at the end of the presentation, we will touch on the 60 gigahertz C-in-wave in both point-to-point and point-to-multipoint. Now, before I begin, the product I'm going to talk about now, which is the PMP450 series, as you can see here. This product basically was founded back in 2010. And since then, we started developing on top of this product. I would say this series or this family of Cambium products is actually future-proof. And the reason I'm saying that is from the beginning of the release of the product, we kept on adding features. And in the span of 3 years after releasing the very initial iteration of the 450 series, we added new types of modulations. We added a new type of MIMO operation just by doing software updates. And then the more, the bandwidth requirements increased because the applications we use became more demanding, we introduced the PMP450i platform, which we will talk about in greater details in the next slide. And this basically product allowed for higher packet processing power and made the 450 also even more future-proof for further development. And from the 450i platform, we basically evolved to the PMP450M platform. And that's basically our massive MIMO point-to-multipoint product and solution. Now, the beauty of this platform is that all the products that you see, when I say this, the 450 series APs and the 450 CPEs, all of them interoperate with each other. And the next slide will show in greater details what are the specs of these products. Starting with the PMP450M. The PMP450M is Cambium Networks' highest performance point-to-multipoint platform. The M comes from Massive MIMO, and the technology name is C in Medusa. The PMP450, generally, the platform is available in both 3 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz option. But what makes the 450M different than others is it's today the only product that supports 14 by 14 multi-user MIMO. And it supports also smart beamforming as well. So how do we benefit from that number of MIMO in a product, right? Now, keep in mind, this is not only MIMO, it's multi-user MIMO. So this base station, this access point, is actually able to communicate with 7 CPEs simultaneously, providing 7 times the performance that you get from a 2x2 MIMO radio, which is in most cases a single 2x2 MIMO radio. And because of this technology, this access point is able to provide over 1.3 gigabit per second of shared capacity. And that capacity basically is shared among up to 238 CPEs, or what we call them in Cambium Networks, subscriber modules. After that, we have the 450i access point, which is a 2x2 MIMO AP, providing up to 300 megabit per second of capacity of shared throughput, and basically supports the same number of subscriber modules on it. The 450i platform is also available in an ATEX has-lock option. So whenever there is a requirement for an intrinsically safe product, then the ATEX has-lock option from this will suffice. As you can see here, we also handle very high temperatures on our products. So the CPEs and the access points can actually handle plus 70 degrees Celsius of operational temperature. Now, talking about the subscriber modules, again, they're also 2x2 MIMO, and they can do up to 300 megabit per second of capacity. And also they're available in ATEX has-lock options if required, and can handle very high temperatures. The sector antenna that is integrated into the access points is an integrated 90 degrees or 120 degrees, depending on how you choose to deploy your access point, if it's in a 3-sector manner or a 4-sector manner. So moving forward to the key features of the 450 platform. So the 450 platform has been deployed globally in many verticals. That includes oil fields, utilities, service providers, enterprise, onshore, offshore connectivity, and so on. So pretty much in every category that you're looking for, the 450 point-to-multipoint platform has been deployed and is functioning properly. One of the unique features, especially that most of the deployments usually happen in the 5 gigahertz, we employed what we call a super heterodyne filter, which is an industry-leading provides industry-leading interference mitigation techniques to basically eliminate adjacent channel interference on our access point. The platform also supports low latency, so we're talking about a one-way latency of 3 to 5 milliseconds. The power consumption from 15 to 25 watts maximum, depending on how you're using the equipment, whether you're basically using the PoE out that our CPEs or subscriber modules support or not. Supporting up to 256 QAM modulation scheme. The subscriber modules are available in integrated antennas as well as connectorized. And the integrated antennas, the built-in antennas that are available, are 19 dBi on 3 gigahertz and 23 dBi on 5 gigahertz. Channel sizes supported vary from 5 to 40 megahertz, as you can see here. The 7 megahertz, though, is only supported on the 3 gigahertz platform. An ultra-high spectral efficiency, especially on the 14 by 14 MIMO platform, which is the PMP450M. And that's basically about 30 bit per second per hertz per access point. Uplink and downlink ratio are configurable between 15% to 85% with 1% increments. So depending on your application, whether it requires more download or more upload, you can basically configure this value on your access point, and so it can fit your application the most. As for the receiver threshold, the platform has one of the highest receive sensitivities in the market, reaching down to 101.5 dBm. Smart beamforming, as well as multi-user MIMO works in both uplink as well as downlink. It is future-proof for capacity, and it can be managed by Cambium Networks CN Maestro management system, which can be either on the cloud or it can be on the premise, depending on your requirement. And it is compatible also with Cambium Networks positioner solutions, which we will talk about later in the slides. Again, just touching on this, all the products that you see are ruggedized IP68 certification, and they are available in an optional ATEX HAZLOC certified. Again, the CPEs as well as the APs have a multifunction auxiliary port, which is an additional Ethernet port that can be configured as a PoE out, so you can power any PoE-enabled devices, such as maybe video surveillance cameras, some certain PoE sensors, or even outdoor Wi-Fi access points. All right. Now, talking a bit more details about the CN Medusa, the PMP450. So as we mentioned, it's a massive MIMO 14x14 with a superior spectral efficiency, and I want to focus on that. If you see here, we can do over 500 megabit per second just by using 20 megahertz channel width on a given access point. And the beauty of it, let's say maybe you are a customer who's using existing PMP450 series subscriber modules or CPEs, and you're having a 2x2 MIMO access point on your tower. And in the future, your capacity requirements increased. Maybe you want to add more subscribers. Maybe this is basically connecting different drilling sites. And you wanted to add video surveillance to those drilling sites. And let's say the 2x2 MIMO AP is not enough. So what you can do is just take out this 2x2 MIMO access point and put the 14x14 MIMO PMP450 instead. And by that, you basically offered from 3 times up to 7 times the capacity that you were getting with the old or with the 2x2 MIMO platform. Again, the PPS capability, the packet processing power, is over. So today, it's over 300 packet per second, 300,000 packets per second. As you can see, the radio here is integrated. So the sector antenna, which is a 90 degrees or 120 degrees, is integrated to the radio, which makes it much easier also for the installers and reduces the number of point of failures on your radio. All right. Now, just to touch on the advantages of the 450 platform, number one is the channel access, and all of our point-to-multipoint 450 series use scheduled TDD. So we have a scheduler in the radio, and basically what it does, it basically sends part of the downlink frame. It actually requests which SMs are going to need uplink slots, which makes it deterministic, and it actually helps in the scalability, total overall scalability of the system. Finally, and to add to that, latency and QoS, we support 802.1p and DevServe on the system that can be configured on the subscriber modules. GPS synchronization is key. So when you have, let's say, a network, multiple towers in a geographical area, and you have multiple access points, you want to make sure that all these access points or base stations are synchronized. And what helps us with that is the GPS synchronization, where it ensures that all the access points transmit at the same time and receives at the same time. And finally, the throughput and system capacity, and that brings us back to the spectral efficiency, which also increases by using GPS synchronization. And what that enables you doing is basically reuse frequency channels on the same tower. All right. So that was for the 5 gigahertz or let's say sub 6 gigahertz point to multipoint solution from Cambium Networks. Now we're going to talk about the point-to-point solutions from Cambium Networks, and we're going to start with the sub 6 gigahertz solutions, followed by our licensed microwave solutions, and after that we followed that by our E-band and V-band solutions. And when I say V-band, I'm referring to the 60 gigahertz solutions from Cambium Networks. So starting with the sub 6 gigahertz, as you can see here, we have 3 leading solutions, starting with a PTP450i, and I'm sure maybe many of you are requesting, okay, so that's the same series that we saw on the point-to-multipoint platform. And yes, that is true. We have basically a point-to-point flavor of the 450 series. And what makes that different is that it has the algorithm in that radio is basically tailored and optimized for point-to-point operations. It's a wideband radio, so it covers from 4.9 to 5.9 gigahertz, supporting channel sizes from 5 to 40 megahertz with a one-way latency of 3 to 5 milliseconds. And it's also available in 8x Haslock options, can withstand very, very harsh environments and temperature. It has also the super heterodyne filter that we spoke about earlier, which is which basically covers the interference mitigation on that platform. So that was for the 450i. Again, it's available in integrated model as well as connectorized. So if the integrated antenna on the 450i doesn't provide enough link budget for your requirement, you can use external parabolic antennas with this radio. Moving to the PTP670. So the PTP670 is one of Cambium Networks' flagship point-to-point products, offering maybe one of the highest spectral efficiency in the market today. It's a 2x2 MIMO radio operating from 4.9 to 6.05 gigahertz, offering up to 450 megabit per second of capacity. It is also available in 8x Haslock option in case required, depending on your requirement. Basically supports 8 levels of QoS available in integrated as well as connectorized flavor. And just to add to that, it also supports a mode of operation that we call high capacity multipoint, which we will explain further in the next slide. And moving forward, the PTP700, which is also one of Cambium Networks' very high performance products, very resilient, and ultra-wideband radio. It has 2 flavors, covers from 4.4 to 5.9 gigahertz, and 7 to 8 gigahertz. It supports line of sight and near line of sight operations, and also some non-line of sight operations as well. Covers frequency channels from 5 to 45 megahertz, with ultra-low latency between these two, the 670 and the 700. So we're talking about 1 to 3 milliseconds latency over the wireless link. As you can see, all of our point-to-point products cover supports up to 256 QAM modulation, and that's basically starting from BPSK. We have 13 different modulations to reach 256 QAM. The 670 and the 700 platforms support jumbo frames, and most of all, this is a very important feature, which is the dynamic spectrum optimization on both of these platforms, which we will talk about in greater details later on the slides. All right, I'm going to move forward from here and go into more details on the 670 platform. So as we mentioned earlier, it's a wideband radio, covers from 5 to 45 megahertz channel sizes. And again, it has one of the best spectral efficiencies in a point-to-point radio. We're talking about 10 bit per second per hertz. So just to think about it, if you're using a 10 megahertz channel, you will be able to achieve up to 100 megabit per second on that channel, where on competitive products, generally you will need 20 megahertz to achieve about 100 megabit per second. Now, looking at the interfaces available on this radio, so we have number one, we have basically the 2x2 MIMO. We have two antenna interfaces for the connectorized radio. And for the network interfaces, we have one gigabit Ethernet port, and then we have another gigabit auxiliary port, which can act also as a PoE out if required. And there is a built-in SFP port as well. And that's mainly used if you have number one, if you are providing data through a fiber, and number two, if you have a deployment where the distance between the indoor unit and the radio is greater than 100 meters, then you can basically extend that using a fiber connectivity to the radio, and then you can use the UTP cable just to provide power to this radio, and in that case you can go for up to 300 meters on UTP. And finally, we have an optional 8E1 TDM module. We call it Network Indoor Unit, which basically can be used to carry up to 8 E1s over this wireless link. The system supports adaptive modulation from BPSK to 256 QAM with an aggregate capacity of up to 450 megabit per second and a processing power of 900K packet per second as well. The transmit power of this radio is up to 27 dBm on BPSK, and it goes down to 23 dBm at the maximum modulation supported. Again, it's available in integrated as well as connectorized. The integrated antenna has a 23 dBi gain. If that's not enough for your requirement, then you have the option to opt for the connectorized model and connect that to a parabolic antenna. As for the latency, we mentioned that before, 1 to 3 milliseconds, and we support jumbo frames as well. What else is also the PTP670 platform supports what we call high capacity multipoint. So by basically purchasing the appropriate license, you can connect up to 8 remotes or 8 slave radios to a master radio of the 670. And that's basically high capacity multipoint. Again, we support, we mentioned in the table in the previous slide that we support dynamic spectrum optimization. What this feature does basically, this is more of an interference mitigation technique. So what happens, let's say you're operating on a particular channel and at a certain time you face interference in that channel. So we're talking about co-channel interference. So the radio will, based on a criteria that is pre-configured by the user, will basically shift to a cleaner channel without even dropping the link. So that's also hitless. And this spectrum and this dynamic spectrum optimization function is operational at all times. So it doesn't affect the radio operation. You don't have to basically mute your transmitter to go into a spectrum analysis mode. Your radio will keep on transmitting, and while it's actually doing its normal operation, you can view the spectrum. You can see how your spectrum is looking like, which channels are interfered, what is your current channel, and if there are any better channels that your current channel you're operating on. Also, one of the main features is intelligent orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, which basically enables the radio to transmit over 1,024 subcarriers, resulting in a high resiliency to multipath interference. Again, this is one of the radios from Cambium that supports non-line of sight applications. And to add to that, we support synchronous Ethernet, IEEE 1588v2, and SYNC-E. All right. So, in many of the requirements today, or especially in onshore offshore connectivity, or even offshore connectivity, or let's say long links over water or flat terrain, there are some environmental conditions, especially in our part of the world, which needs to be tackled somewhat in a different manner than we're used to. And when I say a different manner, usually when we have a long link, the first thing that occurs to our minds is, okay, let's either put a bigger antenna or increase the power or put amplifiers, but that's not the solution in such cases. And this is where, when we designed this radio, we thought, okay, the best way to tackle such issues is actually to provide space diversity. And the 670 radio or solution is actually the best for that. We support space diversity in the PTP 670 platform. And that basically, what does that mean? So it means that a single radio, let's say you have a link, one end of the link, you can connect a single polarized antenna to each antenna interface within the radio. So the vertical interface will be connected to an antenna, and the horizontal interface will be connected to another antenna, which basically will reduce the effect, the negative effect that you get from propagating over water or a long flat terrain. So this has been supported in our product from day one since the birth of the 600 series platform. All right. Now, talking about security, as mentioned earlier, Cambium, we don't take security lightly, and we make sure that our products are secured, and we provide that by basically supporting 128-bit AES encryption and also 256-bit AES encryption, multi-level user authentication, over-the-air rekeying, which we will basically explain further in the slides. We also support radius authentication, out-of-band management, SNMP v3, and remote password maintenance. You can also create different user roles on the radio itself. So you can basically configure multiple administrators, or you can basically configure an administrator and someone basically who just checks the operation of the radio. You can also configure a user role where they can only view the dashboard or basically the status page of the radio. And you can, the granularity that you can go down to in this is even you can configure what type of password this user can actually use or put, with the sensitivity of the password and what symbols, capital letters, small letters, and so on, that can be added to that multi-user authentication or user or role-based authentication, I would say. All right. Now, the next slide, we were going to talk about OTAR, which is over-the-air rekeying, and this is pretty important. So in a typical scenario, when you want to change the AES key or the key that's being exchanged between two ends, in most cases, this happens manually by user intervention. So what we've done here is basically this secret key that is used to encrypt the data, it is automatically generated, and it is negotiated, and it is applied seamlessly at a pre-configured interval that you configure basically when you configure the AES key on the radio. And that doesn't require user intervention at all. Depending on the period you configure on the radio, these keys will be actually regenerated or changed, I would say. What advantages do you get from this? There's no need for user intervention. You don't need to send someone every now and then to basically change the keys. It simplifies and streamlines operations while virtually eliminating the risk of compromise on your network. And again, for the benefits, we mentioned that before, saving man hours in manual updating network with latest security patches and so on. All right. Now, jumping to our licensed microwave platforms, I'm going to actually, you can see all these details. We can communicate these later for you. The point of this slide is basically to tell you that we have both full outdoor and split mount licensed microwave solutions. Some of these solutions are single core, some of these are multi-core. It really depends on your requirement, your budget, and what you're trying to achieve, and also the capacities that you're trying or the capacities that you are aiming to achieve as well. Definitely, these radios are available and can be configured using different configurations, starting with 1+0, 4+0, hot standby 1+1 or 2+2, XPEC, and 2+2 with space diversity. We also have some high power radios that operate from 6 to 11 gigahertz. When I say high power or high performance, these radios in particular have higher transmit power compared to the standard radios. And again, that depends on your requirement. And if you can operate between these two bands, then and you need a much better link budget than what the normal or standard radios can do, then it can be a choice for you. And also we have the I would say millimeter wave or the 80 gigahertz radios. They come in two flavors. Depending again on your capacity requirement, you can choose any of them. And we also support there is a multi-band operation with certain accessories that we have here, where you can have a millimeter wave as your primary link, and it can basically coupled with maybe a 23 gigahertz or 18 gigahertz link as a backup. Jumping to the next one, which is basically the split mount. As I mentioned earlier, we also offer licensed microwave solutions in a split mount flavor. There are some customers that sometimes prefer a split mount configuration. It doesn't mean that they want to carry TDM traffic. Sometimes it's because of easier maintenance. They want to have access to the network ports from the from their network room or data center. We also, or it might be just purely an RFP requirement. That is a solution that also Cambium provides. We have a pure IP indoor units, and we also provide indoor units that support up to 16 E1s, along with the IP Ethernet configuration. These indoor units basically also support multiple gigabit Ethernet ports, and they also have SFP ports as well. All right. And again, you can also do different configuration, starting from 1+0 to 2+0, 2+0 XPEC, 1+1 hot standby, and 2+2 hot standby. And we also support 1+1 hot standby with space diversity. All the radios that you see here and in the slide before, which is the full outdoor solutions, and depending on the configuration that you use, you can basically do up to 2 gigabit per second full duplex of capacity. So what makes the PTP-820 system unique? First, it provides ultra-high capacity with lower power consumption. It's tightly integrated with in-house developed radio techniques, such as line-of-sight 4x4 MIMO, which basically enhances your capacity and gives you 4 times the capacity that you get with a 1+0 link. It has one of the leading system gains across the entire spectrum: high power radios, superior receive sensitivity, high service granularity, and that's basically this is basically achieved through hierarchical QoS, and hardware ready for emerging and future transport protocol. And it's a single platform, single OS across the entire your entire licensed microwave network. So that being said, I just wanted to touch base on the durability and the mean time between failure on our gear before we jump to the 60 gigahertz platform. And we always built our products to to withstand very harsh environments, and that wasn't only calculations and lab tests. That was basically based on field results that we are getting from radios that are deployed today and deployed 10 years ago and even 20 years ago. So you can see the temperature rating is pretty high. The mean time between failure based on field calculations is over 100 years. We have more than 5 billion field hours in service. The wind speed survival is over 200 miles per hour. And this platform in particular is the result of over 10 years of experience and R&D. Where this platform was born first in 2003. So you can imagine the amount of technology and development that happened to it. Again, it is designed for harsh environments, and we take our products in too many testing, and these are actually real footage of how the products are tested before they leave the factory, and that ranges from wind survival to the ingress protection rating that we have, salt and fog environment testing, shock as well as vibration testing. And when it comes to the functional test, each radio must pass factory temperature test prior to shipment. And we take them through different functional tests. Active link, all modulations, all bandwidths. Then a cold cycle is done for 30 minutes. After that, followed by a cold start, functional test again, followed by a hot cycle again for 30 minutes, and then functional test again. So it's not only a temperature test, it's an operational temperature testing that's taking place. And again, I wanted to reaffirm that all the products that we spoke about, so PTP 670, PMP 450, PTP 700, all of these are available in ATEX HAZLOC certification. And if your requirement requires intrinsically safe product, then you can opt for one of these options as well. And one interesting solution we wanted to touch base on is the intelligent positioners from Cambium. So we've got two types of positioners today. We want to start it with the maritime broadband intelligent positioner. This is basically a fully integrated solution. When I say a fully integrated solution, the whole solution basically includes the antenna, the radio, and the positioner. So you have the radio basically deployed, connected to the antenna, and covered by this dome. This positioner basically continuously tracks the remote end. It is compatible and works with Cambium Networks 450i, the 670 platform, as well as the 700, and it has an AIS interface that can be connected to the ship, interface to know basically the heading on where it actually needs to settle to establish link. It is basically this solution was designed for ship-to-ship communication, ship-to-shore communication. It's designed to withstand extreme maritime weather conditions, provides 360-degree view and tuning. The antenna that is in it is actually integrated. It's a 23.5 dBi integrated antenna, and it moves at a speed of 25 degrees per second. Now, the beauty of the system is that it can be connected to it can handle any movement of ship, and it integrates with the IIS receiver or the GPS heading unit receiver for the positioner. Again, as I mentioned, it is a tracking device. So even when your ships, if you're actually connecting to mobile ships, or if you're doing ship to shore, the antenna with the positioner will keep on tracking the other end without disconnection. All right. Next to that, Cambium Networks also offers a nomadic intelligent positioner, and this is mainly used for critical missions, first responders, emergency deployments, where you need to basically, let's say, stop at a certain site. All you need to do is basically erect a mast that has the positioner and the radio on it, turn it on. It'll basically start looking for its master radio or the other radio that it needs to communicate with. It locks into it, and then you have a connection. This positioner is a nomadic positioner, as we mentioned. It supports an azimuth of 400 degrees. That's basically positive 200, negative 200, so in either directions, and an elevation of 140 degrees divided in negative 20 degrees down tilt and up to 120 degrees up tilt. And the speed of this positioner is up to 4.5 degrees per second in azimuth, and similar to that in elevation. I'm going to leave the dimensions and weights. This information is available. You can take a look at it later on the slides. It can basically withstand temperatures operational from -30 to 60 degrees and survival -40 to 70 degrees Celsius. Positioner materials is done from aluminum with stainless steel hardware, which is also hard coat anodized. It's a passive PoE with -48 VDC to -56 VDC support. And for the management, it has a GUI, web interface, HTTP, and it also supports SNMP v2 and SNMP v3. The positioner itself has a 1000 base T Ethernet port, and it supports all of our point-to-point and point-to-multipoint products, including licensed microwave, PTP 670, PTP 450i, and the CPEs, the PMP 450i subscriber modules, for that matter. So again, this nomadic intelligent positioner, it provides quick deployment of wireless fiber services. It's really easy to deploy, really easy to physically set up. It basically has a GPS heading unit, a high-end compass to provide initial alignment to the other end. The positioning will take less than 30 minutes, and that's assuming that you haven't entered the target GPS coordinates in the positioner itself. So here, the 30 minutes, basically the positioner is searching purely based on a receive power level. If you basically add the GPS target, the target GPS coordinates, the time will be much less than 30 minutes, and it can actually go down to about 5 minutes. Ease of use for non-technical users. It doesn't really require a lot of technical knowledge to configure and identify the other unit IP address. Just few presses and toggles on the GUI, and you're good to go. Each end will automatically align and connect to the other end. And the external antennas supported here are integrated 2-foot and 3-foot antennas as well. These positioners also come with an optional GPS heading unit if required. And that can be used also to make the alignment much faster using these positioners. Okay. So now, talking about the Cambium Networks C-in-Wave 60 gigahertz solution. So if you remember the first video you saw before this session, it basically somehow gave you the idea that you can get multi-gigabit per second connectivity using this solution, and that is basically true. And we're going to talk more in details about the different components of the system. But before, just to introduce it, the 60 gigahertz solution from Cambium Networks, again, will provide multi-gigabit connectivity between your sites. And we're talking about up to 15 gigabit per second from a distribution node with channel bonding, easy installation with auto beamforming, supports point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, and mesh configurations, which we will see later on the slides. And most of all, it employs 802.11ay technology and embedded Facebook Telegraph connectivity technology. This product was developed also very closely with Facebook Telegraph connectivity team. Now, before we jump into the product specifics, I wanted to touch base and actually elaborate more of the differences between 802.11ay. Why did we mention the standard at the beginning of our session? And you know, the 60 gigahertz solutions were not born just last year. There was an old standard called 802.11ad, which was ratified back in 2016. The standard actually did work. It wasn't bad, but it definitely had its limitations. It was good for raw throughput, and that's purely because of the frequency band and the channel sizes that you can configure. However, when you wanted to scale a network back then using the old standard, you were not able due to few limitations, and these limitations include the lack of channel bonding. The channel access method that was used was somewhat old. So we're talking about CSMA-CA, carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance, which definitely affects your scalability. Didn't have any network synchronization. So if you aim to basically deploy a very dense network based on 60 gigahertz, you couldn't, because your network is not synchronized, and definitely you will end up facing interference within your own network. And also there is no mesh support, and the number of CPEs per sector was limited to 8 CPEs. The AY standard basically solved and added a lot to these, solved a lot of these issues and added a lot of features to that technology by providing much higher capacity, mainly due to channel bonding. The channel access, instead of carrier sense multiple access collision avoidance, we do TDMA with TDD. And the network now is synchronized. Each component or main distribution node has a built-in GPS in it to make sure that all your nodes transmit at the same time and receive at the same time, which enables you to reuse the same frequency channel and minimize self-interference in your network. It also supports mesh. So for dense deployments, you want to extend the connectivity to one site through another site, you can now use the 60 gigahertz to do so. And finally, the number of CPEs per sector increased from 8 to 15 CPEs per sector. All right. Now, after highlighting what the AY standard is all about, let's talk about the system components. So as a platform, all right, we have the solution is made of 3 components here. So you got the distribution node, which has basically dual sectors. So if you see my pointer here, you have one sector and you have another sector right here. Each sector covers 140 degrees. We will look at it later in the slides. And then you have 2 client nodes, 2 different options of client nodes. That really depends on your capacity requirement and on your distance from the distribution node. We have two models, high gain client node and mid gain client node. Now looking into more details into these components. First of all the C and wave components here or products basically cover from 57 to 66 gigahertz of frequency, with modulations reaching up to 16 QAM. The capacity that can be obtained per sector, and please remember my words, per sector, not per distribution node, per sector only, is up to 1.9 gigabit per second full duplex without channel bonding, and with channel bonding, up to 3.8 gigabit per second full duplex as well. So an aggregate throughput of 7 gigabit per second per sector, which makes the distribution node in total capable of doing up to 15 gigabit per second in total with the two sectors. The sector coverage is kind of simulated here. So as you can see, each sector actually covers 140 degrees sector or angle, I would say. A distribution node is able to communicate with up to 30 client nodes. So each sector antenna here can communicate with up to 15 client nodes on this one and 15 client nodes on this one. Now, let's say you have a situation or a requirement where you want to use mesh. Mesh is only implemented between distribution nodes. So if you decide to use mesh, then each sector in a distribution node can actually connect to two other distribution nodes. Definitely, if you're connecting other distribution nodes, this will take some of your client nodes supported per sector. So that's why we mentioned here up to 30 client nodes per distribution node, or you can have other 4 distribution nodes plus 26 client nodes connected to a given distribution node. The interfaces available on this distribution node, you have a 10 gig E PoE-N copper. There is a 1 gig E PoE out port, or we call it auxiliary port. It can provide PoE out, PoE plus 802.3 AT. And there is one SFP plus port as well. And again, it can handle also high temperatures from -40 to 60 degrees Celsius. The latency is pretty low, so we're talking about less than a millisecond of latency on this platform. Moving forward, the V3000, which is the high gain client node, it pretty much supports the same frequency band, so 57 to 66 gigahertz, same modulation, and it supports the same capacity. So 1.9 gigabit per second full duplex without channel bonding, and 3.8 gigabit per second full duplex with channel bonding. It has a 2 degrees azimuth and 1 degree elevation. When it comes to antenna beam, EIRP can reach up to 60.5 dBm, and it has the same low latency, and it has also the same ports as the distribution node. So you have a 10 gig E PoE-N, which is passive. You have a 1 gig E that supports also PoE out, PoE plus, and an SFP plus port also embedded in the radio. And finally, the mid-gain V1000, same frequencies, same modulations, but this radio is limited to a gigabit per second uplink and a gigabit per second downlink. So we can say a gigabit per second full duplex with 40 degrees azimuth and 20 degrees as the elevation when it comes to antenna beam. And the EIRP is up to 38 dBm, same latency, and it has a single 1 gig E port. And it can be powered also using 802.3 AF PoE power source. It comes with its own power injector as well. All right. Now, when we look at the 60 gigahertz deployment architecture, so how can you use this product? What is it used for? This product can be used basically, I would call it more of a wireless fiber. Let's say in areas where the fiber infrastructure or maybe an old infrastructure exists. So if there's no fiber infrastructure or a low capacity infrastructure exists, and you would like to provide a certain area with very high capacity that matches fiber, then this is the way to go. And the main application is wireless to the home, and that's by providing wireless broadband access directly to a home, maybe through a client node connected to a distribution node. Wireless to the building, connecting multiple buildings together using this solution by providing gigabit per second capacity to each of these buildings. maybe using a distribution node, multiple client nodes, or multiple distribution nodes meshed together as well in a certain high density area. Rooftop to rooftop, you want to connect two buildings together that are maybe 1 kilometer away or 1.5 kilometers away from each other. You can use this solution maybe at 2 high gain client nodes to connect these buildings together. A fiber extension, where you don't have fiber, you want to extend the fiber connectivity to an area, you can also use this platform. Backhaul can be used for 5G small cell, outdoor Wi-Fi, micropop, and most of all, video surveillance, CCTV. And now if you want to talk about the topology, this product can be used in multiple topologies, starting with point-to-point. If you recall, we spoke about 2 types of client nodes. These client nodes can also communicate with each other. So you can actually configure them to operate in a point-to-point mode, and you can basically connect 2 sites together with very high capacity. And we're talking about distances that, depending on the geographical area that you are in, it can be as low as maybe 900 meters. It can be as high as 2 or 2.5 kilometers, really depending on the environment, because this type of frequency gets affected by oxygen absorption a lot. So depending on the rain zone where this is deployed, you will achieve different distances. And most of all, the recommendation is whenever you have a plan to use this as a point-to-point, run a link budget. Cambium Networks Link Planner tool has this product supported in all deployment topologies. You can configure point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, and mesh connectivity, and you can tell what link budget you will get from that. The other one is point-to-multipoint. So that's basically a point-to-multipoint distribution node, dual sector, connecting to multiple client nodes. It can be also used, let's say you have multiple video surveillance cameras, and you have also other applications running over this transmission medium. So you can you need the high capacity. So you can actually use one distribution node, connect these multiple cameras or client nodes connected to these cameras to basically stream the video back to your command and control. Extended point-to-multipoint with PTP, very simple. Let's say you have an area which is not served with fiber, and you want to deploy a point-to-multipoint network in that area, so you can extend the fiber connectivity from your POP, from your HQ to your POP, and from there you can maybe put a distribution node and have multiple client nodes connected to it. And finally, mesh deployments. So that's basically multiple distribution nodes communicating with each other. That can be maybe in a downtown area, city center, or other applications, whatever applications with low distance, high capacity connectivity. You can have multiple distribution nodes, and these distribution nodes will be meshed with each other. And even from these distribution nodes, if you have other sites that you would like to extend the connectivity to, you can also connect client nodes to that distribution node that is meshed with other distribution nodes. Okay. And finally, small cell backhaul using basically point-to-point. So to summarize, what the uniqueness from Cambium Networks 60 gigahertz CN wave teragraph solution comes from multiple factors. And to begin with, low total cost of ownership. You have one distribution nodes that's covering up to 280 degrees of area, and you don't even need a site router, as installation is pretty simple. You have different flavors of client nodes depending on your requirement, your link budget requirement. You can either go with a mid-gain client node, or you can go with a high-gain client node to achieve more range and more capacity. Beamforming for easy installation. All of our distribution nodes have 8 antenna tiles, so they actually do beamforming, which contributes in improving the link budget to your client nodes. Super long range V3000 with beamforming, channel bonding support, all managed also by CN Maestro, which can be installed, which can be either used on the cloud or be deployed on the premise. End-to-end solution with onboard dashboard and easy planning using Cambium Networks link planning tool. And with that, I want to conclude my presentation. That was the last thing I want to talk about. I hope that was useful to the audience. If you have any questions, you can ask us, and I'm going to hand over to Lubna. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ahmad. That was really insightful. And you kept us engaged. I see that there's a lot of questions that came in during your presentation. Maybe we can go over them if you're ready.
I'm going to be ready. Just hold on. Yeah. All right.
So I will post each question on the screen over here. It will be easier for everybody to see. Some of them here. Let's begin with this one. What is the security system in Cambium, like 802.11, and what is the encryption like? Now, I understand that most of this was covered, but I think it would be a good refresher to answer these either way.
Okay, fair enough. So 802.11. So let me tackle this. If he's referring to AES encryption, is it similar to the security measures that are taken in the Wi-Fi chipset, which falls under the 802.11? Then the answer is no. We actually have a very high grade encryption in all of our radios, and that includes point-to-point and point-to-multipoint. We have optional 128 AES and 256 AES encryptions.
If I may add here as well,
yes.
All our products, they require export control, and usually it takes like a week. And the reason behind it is part of the encryption that we use non-commercial grade encryption in our radios. The other part also, which I would highlight, none of these products that we presented are Wi-Fi based chipset. These are proprietary technologies, so we can deliver a high-end, high quality, and very strong interference mitigating radios.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, so if that answers the first question of Gaia, because I see that there's two questions from Gayatri, let's go straight to her second question. What is the maximum distance of this point-to-point 820 link?
Okay, so the PTP 820 solution is a licensed microwave solution, right? And as you can see, it supports from 6 gigahertz to 38 gigahertz. And this is a wide frequency to actually give a simple answer, because the RF characteristics of each frequency in that range will change. The higher your frequency, the shorter your distance is going to be. We've done links. I can give you examples of what we've done in the field. For example, in Dubai, we've done an onshore-offshore link on 18 gigahertz with 6-foot antennas, and that link was about 16 kilometers. And the lower frequencies, such as 7 or 6 gigahertz, you might even achieve higher distance. It can reach 30 or 40 kilometers, depending on the antennas you use. But generally, and especially when it comes to the PTP 820 link, depending on the geographical location, we prefer to get GPS coordinates of the locations you're trying to link and do a proper link budget for it, because this cannot be predicted just like the 5 gigahertz, and it differs greatly from one region to another.
Okay. I also see a question from Gayatri in regards to the intelligent positioners. I believe it's how do these positioners find a specific access point when several ones are present? So how does this make these positioners more efficient in finding the correct one to hop on?
So there is usually also a positioner configuration. So you can basically specify in the positioner itself which target location or target positioner it should connect to. So it's all Alex, you can, if you want, you can chime on that as well.
All right. What I would like to highlight an important thing here. What differentiate our positioners from the rest in the market? The maritime antenna, as well the nomadic one. We have developed our software where you can save the base stations or the other sites' GPS locations, and based on the location, the radio, the positioner will automatically goes to the heading of that base station closest to it, and then it establishes a link. What you find out in the market, the rest are all based on RSL. We only use RSL in case you don't have any of the base stations or the remote sites location saved.
Okay. And another question about the antenna and the auto alignment is, what is the maximum size of this antenna? Guess some of the mechanical possibility, the maximum weight and size that it can host.
Nomadic is a 3 foot, and
Yes.
the maritime is integrated as of today.
Okay. I see another question here from Aminuddin. Is it possible to configure the spoke device over the air once it's connected with the hub?
Yes, it is possible. We support over-the-air configuration on all of our radios.
All of the radios, all the point-to-point and multi-point that you guys carry in the portfolio?
Yes. So if when he says spoke, he's referring to a remote site connected to the base station. Once it is connected, he can basically log into the remote or the spoke, as mentioned in the question, through the IP address or even through the management system. And he can basically change the configuration or view the status of that product remotely.
Good. That can save a lot of resources and deployments and time as well.
I can't hear you.
I'm saying that this is a very good thing because you can save a lot on your resources, on sending people outside and initiating some remote support. I have a question from Leia. She's asking, can the CN Maestro network management software be used across all of Cambium products?
The answer is yes.
So it is one same software to use
for the PTP 670, PTP 700, PMP 450i, switches, Wi-Fi, CN Wave 60 gigahertz. All of them can be managed through CN Maestro. So you can basically have your whole Cambium networks presented in front of you, and you can view it from CN Maestro.
That's good. Well, that brings me to a question. How does that work? Is it, do you get a main server that does all the work, and then you can add more in different locations and see, like manage these from multiple locations? If you have a network and you have multiple locations?
If you have a network, you mean you have multiple locations for the radios?
Yes. So let's say you have a headquarters in Dubai, and then you have a second place in Abu Dhabi, and they all want to see what's going on in the entire network. Can you do that?
So both locations can have access to the same management system. It's a dashboard. And whatever your radios are, as long as they are onboarded and have connectivity to the management system, you can view them in the dashboard. And you can even geographically view these radios and what they are linked to as well.
So it's a web-based software.
It's I wouldn't say it's a web-based.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, if you want to put it this way.
Okay. Okay, I have another question here from Cindy. Regarding the GPS synchronization, do you need a GPS per access point?
Not really. So we have a GPS module. So there are two ways to synchronize, right? We have number one, our TX switch that Alex spoke about initially in his slides, which we call the tower switch. This tower switch can be connected to our GPS unit, which we call C-impulse. And this GPS unit will propagate the precise timing over the Ethernet to all the access points that are connected to the switch on the tower. Let's say the customer have their own switch for some reason, or they have two access points on the tower. What they can do is they can use our C-impulse module, which is the GPS antenna, and this GPS module can actually synchronize the two access points together.
Okay. I hope that these answers are answering the questions that we're receiving. I wonder if there's anything else. Anyone else has a question? I had a question about the warranty on the products. What is the standard warranty, and can we go for any extended warranty as the options on the hardware?
Warranties, that's a good question. We got the 450 platform. It goes, the standard is a 3 years manufacturer warranty, and you can buy extended warranties to the life of the product. So you can keep adding 2 years, 1 year, so whatever is required. So, and you can keep renewing them. The 670 is at 1 year. Then we have the any indoor product, switches, Wi-Fi, is a lifetime warranty.
That's interesting. When you offer a lifetime warranty, you're quite certain and you stand behind your product and its quality.
Exactly.
That sends a good message out.
We had a call with one of our partners in Saudi the other day, and he was complaining that he doesn't get much maintenance because the product is too solid. And that's the quality of products that Cambium builds.
Well, that's good in a sense.
Yeah.
Alex, I have another question. It may be more addressed to you about the NFR program. Do you think we can make a quick coverage on this and maybe invite partners attending and watching us to the steps of how they can initiate and benefit from this demo program that is available?
Absolutely. So we can schedule a session for our partners once they sign in. We take them through the partner, how to request, and what's their eligibility for the NFR kit. We always encourage our partners to have NFR kits, because what we do when we generate leads to our partners, we check who has the NFR kits, and then we introduce them to the end customers, because because most of the end customers, sometimes they need a demo kit, they need to test a POC, and the NFR kit will serve to supporting these opportunities.
Okay, so just to make it clear, the NFR stands for Not for Resale program. It's a program that partners can benefit from. You can buy a demo kit at a very discounted rate, and you keep this and use it for all your demo POCs, showing your customers, etc. So I want to remind you that you can sign up as a partner as well through the channel. Please visit the channel.cambiumnetworks.com, and just like Kinan had demonstrated previously, fill up the form, and the Cambium team will get in touch with you and officialize your participation in the program. I want to thank everybody for joining us. If there are any other questions, please do not hesitate to send them in. And I want to thank you, Alex and Ahmed, and I will wish everybody a very nice day. Alex,
Right.
Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would like also to add one thing. By joining our partner program, we'll give you two benefits. You have better discounts, you have access to the products, And the most important, you get access to deal registration. Since Cambium is a 100% channel company, we treat all our partners equally, but we provide a deal registration to help the partners who brings in the business and develop it first. So we provide all the support for our partners to pay them back on their efforts. Please feel free to reach out and stay tuned for our new 5G release very soon. It's a very nice product coming up. And please check what other webinars we are coming up. We're going to be doing bi-weekly webinars on short technical subjects to help your pre-sales team learn more about our products. And thank you. I appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, Ahmed. And thanks to everyone that joined us. See you next week on another webinar.